art students. Brian Proctor, the art teacher, back again with another video. So today we're going to kind of take it easy. I'm going to kind of take it easy because we've been getting deep into the comic book stuff. So I'm going to do a action pose today. Just kind of like a quick action pose, and then just kind of like relax the hands, relax the mind, you know, prepare yourself for actually drawing your comic. So I got this pose in mind. Hopefully I can get it. So starting out slow, you're gonna get the oval, and he's gonna be leaning down, coming like at you, kind of leaning down. Starting with the oval. So instead of making it up and down, we're gonna have like side, because this is gonna be the back. The back is gonna tilt. The more you tilt, twist it, the more action you get out of it. So from the beginning, I'm gonna do this, and because we're gonna have one shoulder right here, this delt, and one delt like right here, coming right here. So the hole for the head is gonna be right about there. Hopefully I won't go off the page. This hand is gonna be forward. This hand is gonna go back. He's gonna have one bent leg and one leg stretched out. So if this is the collarbone, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna go into that delt. And usually when I do, when they're leaning over, when you're seeing it from the top, I just kind of do like one piece like this, go into the chest. So I'm gonna tilt the chest about like this, and it's gonna come down. So that's gonna be the center line. So we're gonna tilt the chest here, bring it in, bring it out, and then we have that piece here. So you have your, what is that? What is that? It's been so long. This is your shoulder, but it is your trapezius muscle right here, goes into the back. So I'm going to curve that, and then give that kind of like that lump, because your spine is going to be right there. So you're going to see a little bit of the abs. You're going to see more over here than you do over there. So I'm just going to put this turn here, and then you're not going to see too much obliques. I might throw it in there later, but then I want to gonna give them a little bit. Give them a little bit. So if the chest is right here, that's going to be like this. You're going to see a little bit of the abs, oblique and abs right here. I'm trying to feel this out, and then you're going to have the upside down house. So it's going to be like this. So if I want my center point right here for the roof, it's going to be like that. I'm trying to think. Maybe I might have this out a little too far. So let's bring it up like about right here. And then the chest there. I'm going to take this all the way up to this delt. It's going to be like right here. Chest is right here. This is going to be that one piece. I'm looking at that hole thinking that's the head. That's why it's making it look so big. That's not the head. It's the hole that the head is going to be in. So we're going to have this little piece right here. And then your obliques are going to be right here. And someone asked me to do a video on the obliques, so I'm going to do that for that person, because I'm sure a lot of people might be having trouble with obliques or love handles there. And that goes down into, so if I have this here, this is going to have to be here, because this cannot be too close to the center crotch. So I'm going to take this out. Let me throw these legs in there, and I can adjust these hips. One like that. And one is going to go kind of down. This is going to be kind of the straight leg. This one's going to go back. So I want to put a circle, half circle. If I continue, it's going to be the whole circle like that. Front of the circle is going to be the shin, and you leave some of this for the calf. That's going to be the leg, and then your foot. And this one, I can bring that out more. since that is going back, it won't be on the same plane as the foot, the front, as this foot here. So you have your knee, which is just a diamond. Around that diamond, you have going to that bone, your calf, and then that part. And then you have your foot. However I choose to put the foot, I can put the foot forward. I can put the foot back, pointing this way. I don't know yet. I'm just kind of feeling it out. Let's just put the triangle there for the time being. I might maybe bend that knee a little bit more because it looks like he's hurting himself. So we still have this, and the knee, and this part here. So I'm not going to make it so long to where it is going back. About right there. And if it's facing forward to go back, you're going to have this hole. This is going to be round, this is going to be this way, and this is going to be that way. And then you place your foot. And pull that in, maybe pull that up a little bit. I don't know. Once I get the whole thing done, then you cover it up, and you kind of look at it, and you're like, oh, okay, that needs to be this, and this needs to be that. So let's put the head there, just because that is making me think that's his head. So the head is going to be down. I want the head looking at me. I'm going to probably slim that up even more, because this to the bone, to this to the bottom, is not going to move. It's not going to crunch over. It's just going to go up and down, and then the abs are going to crunch. So I'm going to pull those abs in once I get all this straight. So I'm going to put this hand is going to go back, so it's going to be foreshortened. And then he's going to be holding something, probably a sword. And these are the knuckles right here. Didn't put the fingers on yet. And this is the thumb. Sword is going to be in the hand, somewhere like that. I might pull that back a little bit too, because that could be a little bit long. Maybe like this. The shorter it is, how can I say that? The shorter it is, the more it's pointing at you or away from you. Example, here's a pencil, pointing it to you. Where's the camera? Pointing it to you. The shorter it gets, the more it's pointing to you, or in this case, the eraser is pointing away from you, Just keep it the right size as it's going back in the distance. And then put that hand, and this is just a little square like this. And then I put the thumb out like that. Give it a little lump under here. Put the thumb out like that. So this hand, I want this hand to be probably about right here. So as I say, I always draw my hand where I want it first. So if you're holding something, where's the camera? If I'm holding something like a knife or pencil or whatever, like this, you're going to see that flat face. But if I'm pointing it at you, my wrist is going to bend. In example, if I'm like this, my wrist is going to bend, so that thing will be pointed directly at you like this. So if I'm holding it and I point it at you, it's going to come down like that. So I'm going to, you're going to have this piece here and your thumb coming around. Where did I put the hand at? You have this, and your thumb coming around that thing. And a lot of times you won't see the rest, especially a sword or something. The guard will cover a lot of it. But just for the sake of it, so it's going to come down, and then you're going to get your fingers. It's going to come around, because you're going to have this coming around. And then you're going to have your finger that wraps around that whatever that thing is. You may see that other finger because you tend to see this finger, these two fingers usually are covered by this finger here. So you're going to see the two fingers, this one and this other one, like that. And of course, this one is shorter. It might be higher depending on how you hold something. But you're going to always see that knuckle. That's the highest knuckle. This one's going to come out, and this finger comes down below that a little bit more. So just kind of remember that. So it's going to dip down here. You're going to see that one knuckle. You see this knuckle, and it comes down. But whatever you put in his hand, usually, unless it's a club, something small. But when I tend to do this kind of stuff, I will kind of do not foreshorten, I guess foreshorten in reverse. My brain just locked up right now. So the sword, the edge of the sword is going to be bigger. I just got to figure out how to place it. It's going to be kind of pointed at you, but I don't want it up and down. I want to kind of give it a little tilt to it. So which means I may bring this in more. This in, because you have to, I can't, if your shoulders, I can't get my shoulder. If your shoulders are here and you bring that arm in, it's going to bring it across that chest a little bit. So you're going to have this, just say the forearm. Like that. You're going to have the bicep. And a lot of that's covered up by this part of the forearm right here. And the bicep is going to go into the delt, which of course, you know, this goes right into the kind of the center of the delt, your collarbone. So how do I have it? I have so many lines. I'm about to switch to a pencil. Your elbow is going to be right here, your bicep, and then your delt, like that. So let's work on this thing right here. So I have this. If I do the whole circle, or the whole circle right there, then I've got my abs and my obliques that come down like this. I'm gonna have to switch a pencil or something. Take a quick look at it because this is a lot too close. And with this, it's gonna be a lot of shadow in it, but I want to find a dark pencil first so I can get this straight. And let me get a light. Hopefully it won't mess up for you guys. Chest, other part of the chest. Bring it in, out, and it's going to come around. First set of abs right here. Second set, and it's going to be round. Remember, keep it round. And your third set right there. So you're going to have your obliques right here coming down into the crotch. It's going to be your hips right there. Don't make that too wide. And then probably right here. And then you have a place to start your legs. Just don't make them too long, like I think I did. Or too short. Could be a little longer. So this is going to come up, and here is that delt. One piece. This is going to be my bicep, tricep, and the forearm. Cut that wrist a little bit. It's going to go up because if you look at this, it would look like that. It's flat. It goes up. Right. And then you got a thumb. If I'm holding, I don't think I can twist my hand the actual way, but because the camera's above and it's kind of hard. But you see that it's going to be flat like this. You almost have that like almost square, almost, but it's going back almost like a triangle. And then that little thumb piece goes out. Let's see if I can twist my hand. Goes out like that. And these fingers are going to actually wrap around. Crap in the baby finger. And the fingers are going to go in. You see how that finger didn't go straight down? It goes in to grab something. So it's actually going to go in. But again, I get over is if I have a sword or something, you won't see that. Just a knuckle, knuckle, knuckle. So that's going to give it more of that roundness. This is where the thumb is going to bend in, and you're going to have this round part here for the palm. If I can get that position again. All right, so light again, right? Light takes away this glare. Now, a lot of this is going to be, as I said, a lot of this is probably going to be in shadow. Not probably, will be in shadow. Let's fix his face. Square chin. That, and then up. You won't see any neck. This chest could probably be lowered a bit more to cover up. I would say maybe about right here to cover up some of the ab. Because when this arm goes back, it's actually pulling that chest. Let me get a scrap piece of paper and show you guys. That's the same way. How am I going to show this? Okay, oval, here's my chest. Here's my delt, here's my delt. So the same way when this arm goes up, this arm's going up, that chest is going to pull like this. This is your chest, this is your collarbone, collarbone. So when that arm goes back, kind of the same thing happens. It's going to pull that chest. The chest is not going to be like this side. Like that. It's going to pull that chest back. So you're not going to see as much of this as you do of that. Little things that I have to remember. And this is kind of the stuff, when you try to do the professional stuff, they look at that. They look at that. So you won't see any latch on this because it's being pulled back. That's why I was saying I was looking at it and it was like, I knew it was too wide. It's too wide. Get just a little oblique, but not too much. Because all of that is turning away from you. This is facing you, but the, I was going to say something. Keep this round. This is facing you. Oh, but the arm is covering it up. So, and the arm, the hand, the sword, all that's going to cover up. So that's kind of like, I'm not going to say get over. It's kind of a help because you won't have to draw it. So your back is going to come down right there. This is going to come like in the middle of this. And again, if you are putting clothes on this person, you are going to cover all of this up anyway. I should not be drawing this with a pencil at all because I'm not going to be able to see it. One day I'm going to be able to draw and cover the whole thing. If I turn my light off, I'm not going to be able to see it. I want you guys to be able to understand how I see it. If you see that glare like that, that's how I see. It might not show in real time, but there's a glare and I just cannot see any detail unless I turn this light on, and then I can see all my detail. This is why I say this is why.
Find a group or device named Light.
I didn't talk to you. This is why I don't really draw with a pencil, because of the glare. So the leg, turning it off. See, now I cannot see any of that. It's just blurred. So I'm sorry I drew with the pencil. I'm gonna have to keep this on for a little while longer. I can turn it over so it won't really affect the light, maybe. So I'm gonna make this big. Here's my knee. And I could make the foot more flatter, like that. And this foot is going back, so I'm gonna keep that. It's my knee right here. And the foot. Now, hard part is, am I happy with that head? I might, oh, come on. thumb is cramping. My hand is cramping. I was working out today and just I need to sit in a hot tub. Oh, the head. I want the head coming down. I don't want the head up. It's kind of like looking down a little, like maybe like down here. Yeah, so I may shrink the head a little. But that'll all come out in ink. A little better. A little better, but the head's got crooked. It got crooked now. Not bad, not bad. All right, so we have this. This is going to be, wherever this chest comes up, you know, it's going to be the center of your collarbone. I can actually even bring it in more. That to give him that more arm going back. You can't see what I just did because I took my arm back. Your delts, your traps, your trapezius muscle, the head. So I'm going to find the muscles and I'm going to try to, I want the light to come from this way. We'll hit his back. So I'm going to add some shadow to this guy and see what I can get. With that David Finch shadowing and cross hatching. I've been watching a lot of his videos. The man is just phenomenal. I'd hate to be his inker because he puts so much detail, too much detail in his drawings. So here's my knee, here's this, here's that. And his videos are good, but my only complaint would be he doesn't. But his videos are not more teaching. His videos are more doing because he has people, you know, writing in and, you know, they read their posts. So every now and then he'll stop and he'll show you how he does something, but it's not geared toward teaching everybody. And that's kind of the thing that I really don't like, is that these master artists are basically just show you how good they can draw instead of saying, okay, I'm going to help you draw better or like me or just better, and then, you know, show you why I do this, why they do this, why they do this. So I don't look at it a lot, but I do have certain ones I look at just to see if they are going to tell you anything. But one that I did see, and he gave a good tip on inking. He said, always do your solids first. Do all your solids first before you even try to feather or hatch. So if I did my leg, and it all depends on the amount of light, you do this. This is solid. Maybe around here you want this solid, and then maybe a little shadow. What is that? The brim light here. So once you get all your solid blacks in, since I could probably make a lot of this black too. And this is where I don't like to kind of guess where my shadow is going to be. But after that, then you can go and you can feather. And see, I never did that. I always kind of did that first and then added my solids. So it's just something I'm going to start working on. And another thing is, if you have a muscle, delt, your bicep, your forearm, and you have this muscle separating your bicep and your tricep, this little triangle piece here, and this, and maybe like a muscle here. So if he inked it something like this, let's say he inked this, the part that is away from the light. So if I ink this, I may go just a little thicker, like this. But if you want something to go away from the light, then you add a lot more thickness to the muscle. But you have to know exactly where that muscle is, or it's just kind of really messed up. So light, just like say this. And this is like doing the solid piece that this one guy was nice enough to say. All your solid pieces, please don't go through the paper. Solid pieces first. Some good line weight. Then, as I say, if you want more shadow in your drawings, then you just kind of make those thicker as they go back. Then once you have your solid pieces, then you can add your feathering like that, and then some crossing if you want to do that. I don't do that, I haven't got that yet. And then coming across, and then even here like that. We'll go down and you can like end it or kind of fade it out. So I did something like this, fade it out like that. And you may say, oh, that looks good, that looks good. I'm not comfortable with it yet. I mean, it does look good, but I'm not really comfortable with it yet. So I'm still working on doing this kind of stuff. Just, you know, I'm not gonna say I would never ink, because if you have a tight penciler, you can follow that penciler's lines. The stuff that David Finch does, it's just like, what? All right, so what did I say? I was going to try to add a little bit of shadow to this thing. Let's do the swords. Let's do the swords. So I'm going to give this a longer handle. It's got to go here. It's got to be the center, and it's going to go down. And so I will put the blade. I'll put the sharp end on top. And then refocus this thing right here. So if I did this, I have no extra colors, I have no other colors. Let's see if I can get rid of this light just for the time being. Wow, no, sorry. I put that pencil there, that really screwed me up. Okay, so we're gonna have the guard right here. Let's use, I thought I had a third color, just a color pencil. I thought I had a color pencil. I don't. So let's do this, and let's just say if I turn it this way. So this is going to come out the center. It's going to go up and maybe like that. I could bring it out more, but I don't really want to cover that much of the picture. Here we go with that pencil again. Not too bad. Kind of like that. So I'm going to ink it and see what I get before I go crazy. Just the basic line ink, and then go from there. Where's my 005? I always use the 005 to start out with, because it gives me room to do more if I need to do more. For a second I was going to dress this guy, but no, I'm not. Just give him a little bit of a head anyway. A little bit of a head. And if he looks down, your ears are going to go higher. If you look up, your ears are going to go lower than your standard ear position. I'll get my little head guy, and show you what I'm saying. And I always screw up in the top of the head. Trying to draw that circle, I always screw up somehow, some way. Don't do it, Brian. Don't add the little snarl. Good enough for the face. That's good enough for the face. You won't see the head. You won't see the neck. This is round because this goes around it, making this one piece. It's going to come around because this goes around it again. It's going to come in. And there, we're going to have the bicep, tricep. And always turn your paper when you ink. I was an assistant teacher at an art school, and the owner who was the main teacher, he would have people tape the paper down. When they try to ink, it's just, you can't do so. Always turn your paper. I'm gonna try something and mess up royally. So let's try that blade. So we have the thumb. There, and you may see some of the hand, back of the hand, you may see some of that. See what I'm saying? I always do the little hatching first. Bad habit. This, you're covering up all of that. Oblique, ab, my other oblique. So ab is gonna go right here. The oblique. Make that a little thinner. Is this my new one? I think it is. Quick ink job. Nothing that will get me higher than marble. And then the leg muscle. calf. So at this point, you would say, all right, where's my shadow? Where's my shadow is gonna go? Where's my shadow going? Chest is gonna be right here. So if the light was coming from here, and let's just do this. Let's, I may even refrain from doing what I was about to do to show you something else. Okay, let me mess this one up here by trying to duplicate that. And sword. You still with me? And I am going to erase everything. Let's see what I have left. All right, let's erase it all and see what I have left. I usually don't do that because I don't know. I know I need to add more to my inking, which I would have done anyway, but because it's so thin, the lines are so thin, I need to add my line weight. So this is what I have. So one, I can tell if I'm missing a line or two and just how bad. I would really go over it all, make it thicker, which I'm going to do. But what I want to do first is add my light and color. So if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to this, and these are going to be like my solids. So I'm coming around here. And that line here, that muscle, and then maybe here. Now you can have, what is it? Is it a rim light? It's a light that bounces off the floor and then goes back up. So instead of making this whole thing black, there will be a line from that source light. I can't think right now. All right, so since this is dark, this is gonna be dark. I could make all of that dark, but since that is a dip right there, the whole thing is kind of a dip. I'm gonna leave a little bit of light there. That's gonna be dark. Around the chest is gonna be dark. So this is gonna be a little dark here and more dark here because that is a dip. And I can go here. And this is good to do because you can always get rid of it if you don't like it versus you just throwing some ink down. I look at these inkers and they kind of know what they're doing because they've been doing, you know, like David Finch. I'm on a David Finch kick right now. He's been doing it for over 25 years. So if you've been doing the same thing for over 25 years, you're going to know what you're doing right off the bat. The separation. So I can actually, since this is kind of going back, I can actually put more shadow in here. That's kind of like a get over. And then shadow the hands. But you know, when you have a picture that's dark, it just kind of looks really good. And we'll do that crooked face later. So I can have all this dark, but just for the sake of showing his abs, I will leave a little bit of light. And this has got to be dark. I'm sorry, that's got to be dark right there. A little bit of light there. This is going to be dark. Of course, you always do the crotch dark because it's down there. It's down below. Light is coming here, so I'm going to give some light here. So this muscle is going to be here. Your obliques are going to go here. Maybe a little higher than that, though, but I'm going to go here and here just to leave a little bit of light. And you can do some feathering. These, and like I say, to make them stand out more, you just give it a thicker, you're following the muscles, but you're giving it a thicker line. Instead of like this, having this, I could go this thick with it to give it more of that shadow look. But since it is lit from that side, I'm not gonna go that much. This one I can do because it's under it. The knee, do half the knee like this. This I can do, leaving some of that. It's not rim light. The rim light. It is, what is that called? Cast. It's not a cast shadow. Is it cast something? Bear with me. This, and then say this part of the foot. You got that shin, and you got a little bit of calf right here, and that can fade out. And then this, like I say, this could be, since this is one big dip in your leg, this is coming over, I can extend that, bring this around. This would be, you'd have some here, so let's just do this, but it's under that leg. Start thinking about stuff like that. So I could actually have all of this, and you see a lot of artists always take that back leg and just blacken the whole thing out. Basically because you're focused up on here. So you have your more black down and kind of fading out so you can see this part. So face shadow. I was never good with face shadow. I always either overdo it or underdo it. So of course, because your eyes are sucked in and you're gonna have that underneath, that jawbone, cheekbone sticks out. You're gonna have a light one there. Definitely under the nose, under the bottom lip. Light is hitting here, so because this is like a lump, we're gonna go around it here and maybe this over the head. Something like that, and then just a little bit of, because that sinks in, just a little bit right there. And I shouldn't have done this, but since I did that, definitely under there. So, and I'll just put a little bit of like a feathering right there on that face. So that is what I would have. And since this is like muscles in here, there. So let me sharpen this and just do this feathering thing. I want to ink it, but I don't want to ink it. And actually, let me use red because you probably can see that better. So from here, let me zoom in because it's way too far. All right, unfortunately, that's as far as my camera will allow me to zoom in. Let's get rid of this. And we can see. So from here, you could, remembering this curve. So if I did something like this, remembering that curve, you can do something like that. But you wouldn't see once it enters the blue, you wouldn't see that. So let me try not to make it enter the blue. So like hatching, not too much though, not too much. So like something like this, I would like feather it down. This would like feather out. This maybe go across. My lead is coming out because I sharpened it a little too much. This I could, and just widen it. Same thing with this. I could, oh, this legs are gonna come out. Let me resharpen it because there, it just came out. Not good enough. All right, let's try this. So again, something like that. But you don't need it on every piece of light or every black area. You know, be kind of sparingly with it. Use it sparingly. And then this could be all like that. You want to vary the distance. Like right here, I have it close. This is not sharp. It's sharp with a square. Like I have it close and then just kind of spread them out. like it's darker right here and then it kind of fades out, or it's going to fade into being dark. This, you can do like this. And same thing with here. I can actually put them together and then fade it out around right here. And if you watch David Finch, you see he'll hours just adding these little lines, and I'm like, man, I would really hate to be your inker. So I'm gonna do this here, and then kind of spread them out, and then drop them down like that, and you can do like some cross hatching here to make that a little darker, to kind of fade out there. But I hate when it doesn't come out right, so I try not to do it. But it's not all straight line. You want some of them to turn like that to give you that shape of being round, or come up like this, and then you can like that, and it gives it that round shape. Something I just need to do more. As I tell people, get the 360 book and you have all of those figures in there you can draw and practice on. So yeah, it's kind of like that. So I'm not gonna really mess with the head too much. So if I inked it, you know, I might be happy with it, I might not. But what is this, 47 minutes? Oh my God, this is too long a video, minus cuts, which I didn't have any. All right, I was trying to do a 15 or 20 minute video. I didn't know it was gonna go that far. So let's just do a few more quick minutes, like here. Fade out this knee, so if the light is coming here, it would hit this, and the knee would come up here. This would be more rounder. The knee would come up here, and these actually do separate. This comes back together here, like this one comes together, and you have that V, and then if he was wearing pants or something, there would be that little bend. If the leg is bent into there, it have that little bend in there. So let me just mess with this sword real quick. Let me give him some, let me give him a little line weight. A little line weight, I don't know, 3 might not be good enough for me. And I won't ink, I don't know. I will ink it, but I'm not, I don't know. I'm not gonna ink it. I'll leave the colors for you guys to see. And you can practice this. Just messed up that face. Rushing. Rushing. All right, Brian, line weight. So since this is closest to you, this would have the thickest line, and fade back into thin. Using that drawing light really messed me up, and I would probably, this would probably around here would be dark as well. Let me get an extra, put an edge to this thing. Where did that one go? This one went like this and across, and of course the piece there. So the actual grip would go down here. The handle would go down there. Come on, Brian, don't lose focus. Lost it. Nope, you're using that blue, so don't go inside. And what I do usually, I'll just, like, if this is a circle right here, I will draw this and I will go out just a little bit on the highest part of the circle to give it more of that roundness. And a lot of artists are like, no, you go out on the outside, not the highest part, because the highest part is hitting the light, but that's just me. So this is supposed to be thicker here, and this is supposed to be thicker there. And that, because that is facing the light, it should be thinner, but I was go the opposite way. Just spinning this thing around like a roulette wheel. Because I went 47 minutes. It's a bit much. Okay, so bring this hand, because this hand is closer than that shoulder. So this hand should be thick as well. That's what happens when you rush. This is going to be the furthest away, so this is going to be kind of the thinnest ink. I will just do some of the circle. Diamond, 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 half a diamond, and your goes along with the diamonds. The wrap goes around with the diamonds. And this piece here. And I'm not going to mess too much with that blade because it'll give him the little blood groove. Because if the lines don't match up, then it kind of screws the whole thing up. So, okay, since I gave the blood groove, I got to give the blood groove here. Matching swords. And there is a, that I can't really see. There's like a little triangle pattern here. Somewhere like that. And then you have this center line. And then you have the actual cut right there, parts that cuts. The sharp razor edge, this might be wrong, but it looks kind of good, so I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, so give it a little more sword look. Do my feet, and then we're gonna call this video quits. But of course, if you're gonna dress him, the shadow would definitely be a lot different because he's got clothes, and you would have more of your folds and your wrinkles and your tears and whatever else you would put on your person. I'll do this, and I'll do this a little bit. Why? You're not supposed to be doing this. That's all in shadow. So, all right, there you have it. There is this, what is that? What is this? The action pose position with your solid shadow first, your solid lines first. And yeah, I'm not gonna touch that. Like I said, your solid lines, you make sure your lines are crisp and sharp on the edge before you actually do some hatching or feathering. And then don't go too crazy with it. Like every little piece has to be, you know, feathered or cross hatched or however, and because you can overdo it. Yeah, so that is going to be it for this video. Wanted to get a nice short one, which didn't turn out to be a short one after all. And do a couple more action poses with some teaching in it. And then do the oblique one. I want to kind of not research it, but make sure I can do it where you guys can understand it. All right, push everything off because this is going to be my thumbnail. And I will see you guys in the next video. So my saying is, if you're not having fun doing it, it's not fun to do. Don't do it. No, it's not fun to go to work. It's not fun to go to school, but you got to do it. All right, so keep drawing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Keep drawing. I already said that. Later.